Here's tonight's 9 at 9. A local mother is asking the person responsible in her son's hit-and-run death to come forward.
I just want my son back. I don't know what I'm going to do without my son.
Alvin White was killed while crossing I-10 near W.W. White Road last Tuesday.
I've already forgiven the person who did this. I just want them to turn themselves in and ask God for forgiveness.
2 hostages freed by the Taliban after more than 3 years in captivity. In a highly coordinated operation, those hostages, American Kevin King and Australian Timothy Weeks, were turned over to U.S. Special Operations Forces. Their release was secured Tuesday when 3 commanders of an Afghan insurgent group were also released. Here at home, the co-defendant in a local capital murder trial gives his account of a deadly drug deal. Gary Barnhart was shot and killed in 2017 during a deal to sell marijuana to a group of teens. That group included Charles Robnett and Michael Aguilar, who testified today.
I get the weed, and then I pretend to look through my pockets if I have money, and I take a step back, and I just kind of look at him, and I look at Charlie, and then Charlie pulls out his gun.
As you heard throughout his testimony, Aguilar spoke fast and was often difficult to understand. He was extremely nervous, he said, his testimony critical to the state's case.
In exchange for the testimony, charges against Aguilar have been reduced to aggravated robbery and a prison term of no more than 10 years. In Hong Kong, a small group of anti-government protesters remain holed up at a university. The protests at that university have been going on for a couple of days, but numbers have diminished after surrenders and escape attempts. 2 professors arrested for allegedly starting a meth lab in a classroom at an Arkansas university. Terry David Bateman and Bradley Rowland were taken into custody after people reported a smell coming from an on-campus lab.
Police say the investigation is ongoing. The 2 professors face charges for manufacturing meth and the use of drug paraphernalia.
25 migrants found stowed away inside a refrigerated container on a ferry. That ferry was headed for England. It's unclear where the migrants are from. At least 2 were being treated for hypothermia. A California wildfire causes $500,000 in damages at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. A spokeswoman says flames consumed the trees and landscape around that library and damaged the internet and network cables. Bei, the giant panda, has left the National Zoo for China. It's part of a cooperative breeding agreement with the Wildlife Conservation Association. All giant panda cubs born at the National Zoo move to China for breeding when they're 4 years old. An Illinois dog is back at home after she disappeared 6 years ago. Prance was found in California over the summer. Luckily, she was microchipped, so the shelter that found her was able to get her back home. To read more about these 9 stories, head to ksat.com/news at 9.